Come on, let's go. Oh, there we are. It's noon on Monday, March 7th, and this is news that you can use from YAA with your hosts, Zach and Ray.
Do you listen to the podcast? Have you ever listened to our podcast? Because you would know.
No,
James
why
James
would
has
I?
to pull his freaking hair out trying to find the moment that you're not talking right before we go live to start the audio record. Thank you to everyone who listens to our podcast.
May I say one thing?
No, we're jumping right into the show.
I'm
directed. Gas prices.
You take the good with the bad.
Gas prices.
You get the whole package, whether you like it or not.
Gas prices.
Yeah, what about it? I got gas. Yeah.
Gas prices. They're high, man.
They're particularly high in California.
They're high nationwide. Prices have jumped up significantly. The price of oil on the commodities markets has also gone sky high. Remember when you could buy a barrel of oil and they'd pay you for it?
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. I remember that. Hey, We'll give you a couple bucks if you just fill a tanker and take it off our hands.
All right, so here you go. A year ago, regular gas was $2.76 nationwide.
That was the national average.
Yep.
Yes.
Currently.
Yes. Then
$4.06. All right, so here's the deal. Rounded up $4.07.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. What's going on internationally is causing all sorts of issues with the international supply chains for oil. You've got obviously the sanctions and the push to get rid of Russian oil, and that's led to this concern in the market that oil prices are going to continue to go high because there won't be enough supply, which has led to gas prices going up. Now, I want to have two parallel conversations here. Maybe we can sequence them. We can do one and then the other. But the two things I want to talk about, Dad, are the last time you saw gas prices go sky high, what happened to car prices and what happened to consumer demand. The other piece of the puzzle I want to talk about a little bit today is how does this also play into the EV, the push to EV? Is this going to be a little bit more of the winds of change? Hey, gas prices are high. Your cost of ownership's going up. You know, my Ford my Ford Mach-E, slip of the tongue. My Ford Mach-E, it costs $10 for me to fill up each night. Like, those are the two conversations I'd like to have.
Where do you want to start?
Probably here at the Speedway.
Whoa. Hey, is this a full service gas station? I mean, are they gonna clean my windshield?
Let's start with your experience when gas prices went high in the past.
Yeah, in the early teens of this year.
And everyone
century.
Yes, and everyone in the chat, let us know what gas prices are in your neck of the woods. So we've got $4 essentially in Virginia. Where was it here? Wow. $5.79 a gallon for regular, $6.09 for premium in California. That's from Justice.
Yeah, but I believe the premium comes with a fine bottle of Napa wine.
Tucson, Arizona, $3.93 a gallon. So let us know in the chat what it is. But Pops, your prior experience with sky high gas prices, what was it?
It was back in the early teens. Everybody and their brother was trying to trade out of their gas guzzling big vehicles, whether they be pickup trucks or SUVs, and they were all trying to get into more fuel efficient cars. At the mini store, I mean, we were selling close to 100 new minis a month.
Yep.
Until we only had about 14 left in stock.
Wow.
And which was probably about 10 more in stock than they have today, perhaps. And people were just taking it in the shorts to get rid of their gas guzzlers.
By people, you mean consumers, car buyers.
The people that owned those big SUVs and big pickup trucks that were getting 15 miles to the gallon. They were willing to take whatever they could get. Yeah. Because the market conditions were so bad for those vehicles. The only way a dealer would trade one is realistically if they were basically stealing it so they could make it appealing to the next person for them to say, well, gosh, I'm buying it like $10,000 below market. I guess I can afford to fill it with gas occasionally.
Wow. And so you really experienced like intimately the impact of high gas prices because you were at a mini store, the mini dealership. The whole MO of that is, hey, it's fuel efficient, it's fun to drive. Yeah. You weren't selling, it would be interesting to talk to someone like maybe the Chevy dude or someone like that, or Dave B sells Chevy. It'd be really interesting to talk to them about their experience during this exact time. Were people coming in and buying Silverado pickup trucks?
No, they were trying to trade out of their Silverados and their Suburbans and their Denali's and their Yukons and all those big monoliths, and they would have been going into whatever Chevrolet had at that time that was a more fuel efficient vehicle. Maybe it was a Malibu,
Yeah.
or a Spark, or something that they don't even build today because, well, gas prices have been stable for so long that manufacturers have gotten away from building really fuel efficient smaller vehicles because people didn't want them, because with cheap gas, people didn't care that their SUV might have only gotten 15 to 18 miles to the gallon around town. They didn't care.
Yeah, why would you?
But if it's $6 a gallon and you've got a 20-gallon tank, suddenly you care. Suddenly it makes a big difference in your monthly budget when if you have to fill up that gas tank once or twice a week. If gas is suddenly 3 times what it was, that impacts your monthly budget. And that will cause people to think about trading out of those type of vehicles and getting into your more fuel efficient vehicles.
We've got from Igor here in the chat, the days of stealing gas guzzlers are here and now.
Yeah, they should be back. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm very interested to see, especially over the next 2 or 3 weeks, the black book segmentation of used wholesale used car values. What's going to happen in those full size pickups and vans?
There is going to be shock amongst consumers when they go to fill up their gas tanks, and it's just, I filled the Mini up a couple weeks ago here in Bethesda.
Yeah.
And it was $50.
Yep.
It's a Mini. It has I think a 12-gallon tank.
Yeah.
And it was $50. So that gives you some idea. Thankfully I don't drive much, and that $50 worth of gasoline will last me a month or more. But
think about someone who's frequently on the road, commuting back. We're in an era right now where people are going back to the office. Okay, this is the other part of the story.
Yes.
The push to EV, this feels like it's almost going to push us over the edge. If you're in the market to buy a car and you're going to look at your total cost of ownership, how can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, you know what? My insurance costs, the car payment's this.
Yes.
Holy cow, that's really expensive because I couldn't negotiate too much under MSRP.
Because the average new car payment today is $650 a month.
Great, I get $650 a month for my car payment.
Yeah.
Let me tack on an extra $100 a month for my auto insurance.
Well, I don't know. I'm a single guy. I pay $125 a month for
and you're
insurance.
70 and you live either at the shore or here. It's very safe areas. Okay, so let's say $150. We're up to $800.
Yeah.
For a month, just between your insurance and your car note.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me tack on the fact that let's say I fill up 3 times as much as you.
Let's say you're an average driver.
Right.
And an average driver in America today drives 15,000 miles a year.
Maybe a little less, but we're moving back towards people commuting.
Call it 12,000 miles a
Yeah.
year. Okay. And if the average combined gas mileage is 20 miles to the gallon combined, city and highway, what does that work out to divided by 12,000?
So you're saying 12,000 divided by 20?
I think so. Isn't that what it would be?
12,000 divided by, that's 600 gallons of gas.
Okay. Times, call it $5 a gallon.
Because you live in California?
That's about $3,000.
1 second. $30,000. 600, $3,000.
Yeah. Nobody's paying $30,000 for gas. If they are,
say $3,000 in gas divided by 12 months, it's an extra $250 a month.
Yeah.
We're up to $1,050 a month. And so what I'm saying here,
and your car hasn't depreciated yet, and you haven't had to pay anything for maintenance yet.
So this is where I come back around to: is this going to be that push over the edge for a lot of consumers? We do interviews with people who are not part of the YA community. There's this website, it's called user testing or user interviews. People on my team. Thank you, Catherine. She does this, okay? And I watch the recordings. Every single recording, people are talking about EVs, and they are A, curious, and B, confused.
Are they curious yellow? You wouldn't even understand that reference, but there was a movie in my day, and it was called Curious Yellow.
I wonder, Dad. Yeah. I wonder if what's going on with gas prices, plus If you watched the State of the Union last week, obviously our
Which I
president.
did not, because that's usually handled by politicians. I don't like to listen to politicians.
That's A-okay, but our
Yeah.
president talked about a desire to have EV tax credits. That's not newsworthy. He's been saying that for a long time. Just don't look at the U.S. Postal Service fleet. That's a different story.
Yeah.
But Joe Manchin came out afterwards and talked to reporters and said, you know what? I want EV tax credits as well. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, are we on the precipice of the push over the edge? Because like you were saying before, people are going to want to get out of their gas guzzlers and they're going to be faced with, wow, that Ioniq 5 looks pretty cool. That EV6 looks pretty cool. That Tesla looks pretty cool. What do you think?
Yeah, then they're going to be faced with the dilemma. Well, as cool as that Ioniq is, where am I charging it? Okay, if I need to go visit Aunt B in Elgin, Illinois, and I live in Bethesda, Maryland, how much extra time does it add to the trip trying to charge that thing when it says it's time to get a charge?
Yeah.
There are a lot of factors. The infrastructure is not there to handle a giant influx of electric vehicles at the moment.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, I think there will always be, or there'll be a growing percentage of people that will look at EV, but right now, I think people would still, the vast majority of those who have gas guzzlers are going to look to get into internal combustion engine vehicles that get better gas mileage than the vehicle they have at the moment.
And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be looking at hybrids. And for example, here, my Venza, which only comes in hybrid, gets 39 to 40 combined. Yeah. So you're right. There are a lot of options on the market that are a lot more traditional and also effective than a gas guzzler.
I mean, honestly, if I were to look at it, as opposed to, I would look at a hybrid. I live in a condominium. I have no place to charge an electric vehicle
No,
at
of
my
course,
condominium complex. It's against the rules and regulations to hoist an extension cord over the balcony, off my balcony on the 4th floor.
It's clear. It's hybrids. Hybrids are certainly going to be what's going to be a hot commodity. Let's say the remainder of this year, because the other story that we have to talk about today is the continued realization that the chip shortage is not going to get better. We have updated data from Automotive News, and it doesn't look so bad this week, but we have to be a bit forward looking.
It'll look, we need to be like the stock market where you tell me I have to be forward looking. Well, looking forward, it's going to get worse before it gets better again, and that's because of the conflict in I won't call it a conflict.
The war
in Ukraine.
So only 13,100 vehicles were actually taken out of production this past week. That's not the main story. The story is obviously this. It's Ukraine supplies 70% of the world's output of neon, a critical gas that runs lasers needed to manufacture microchips. And we've already seen manufacturing plants in Europe go out of commission, take breaks. Staff don't come in. We have to turn off the plant because we're running out of supplies already. Wiring harnesses were another big piece that is also short in supply. That's likely going to drive even more pressure on new car prices and likely used car prices as well. So our assessment, what I'm starting to pick up from this conversation is used hybrid prices
are going to go up.
And you and I, damn it, Pops, we talked all last year about how we should have bought a damn full-size van. Do you want to stand? Look me in the eyes. Do you want to buy a used hybrid right now and see what happens over the next 2 months? We can flip it. We can make money. What's the worst that happens?
Oh, we could have a YouTube TV show called Flip or Flop.
Yeah,
we can flip it. Yeah,
come on, we got to stand behind our expectations because we get some flake in the flack. We get some flake and flack. We get some flick and flack and flake.
Yeah, no, we do all the time
because you change what's happening.
I can fill a cereal bowl with all the flacks and flakes we get. Yeah,
maybe we got to actually do that. Maybe we got to stand behind and buy ourselves a hybrid.
Either that, or we should be buying up some gas guzzling SUVs
and waiting for prices to come back down
and wait for prices to come back down and then sell those things and make a fortune. Okay. I mean certain prices are going to go up. Hybrids are going to go up. High mileage, better gas mileage vehicles, prices are going to go up.
Yep.
You could see on the new vehicle sector, you could see poor performing gas mileage wise, larger SUVs and pickup trucks. You could see those prices coming down because
Absolutely.
the market's going to dry up for those, especially as gas continues to go up. And there's nothing to indicate that the gas prices are going to come down anytime soon. I know that I've read that there's been some talk that the White House is going to approach Saudi Arabia and ask them to increase production of their oil
Yep.
resources to help compensate for the lack of Russian oil.
Yeah.
But if they don't, or if they only increase it moderately, we're not going to see gas prices come down anytime soon.
We've got a comment from Space in the chat suggesting that we should go pick up a Pacifica hybrid. I think that would be a fun vehicle for us to get. Plus, then I could live out my future.
That's a Stellantis. Can't we do a different one?
We've got MPEG in the chat saying people wait in a 30-minute line at Costco to save $1, all while saying electric takes too long to recharge. Yeah, it's an interesting.
And think of how much gas you're wasting while you're waiting in line at up your tank.
Schmoab says, OMG, I took one look at the Costco line on Friday. No way it's worth it. Interesting. Yeah, totally hear that. We had this post back on the YAA community forum. Igor, thanks for posting this. Dealers are beginning to panic, being concerned about the future sales of V8 engine vehicles. It's the same conversation that we were having here. My suggestion to YAA members to be bold and start negotiating on those gas guzzlers and don't take no for an answer until you can get a minimum of $500 to $750 in discount from MSRP. And on brands that have been negotiating already, ask for bigger discounts than previously before. This is what's so fascinating about the environment that we're in, is broken down. You can't paint with broad strokes right now in this market.
No,
you really can't. You can't say car prices are going up, car prices are going down. And it changes weekly. It really does.
Daily.
It really does.
You look at, if you go back to that chart from AAA with the gas prices, you'll notice what the changes were just in a day. Okay,
5 cents in a day.
20 cents
from a week.
28 cents in so it's going up a lot, and when it's this volatile,
and we're close to the 2008 record.
Yes, and when it's this volatile, it's hard to make an accurate projection. But having lived through it in the past, I guarantee you, people that, when they're filling up their truck and it's $100 to fill up their truck, and it used to only be $40, they're thinking to themselves, I don't like this. So that people tend to, I don't want to say panic, but people tend to panic, and they don't oftentimes put a lot of thought into what it is that they do before they go ahead and do it.
I'm sitting here thinking, Dad,
$653 for premium in LA, but that, think of the weather.
I'm sitting here thinking, legitimately, we could buy a hybrid here in Maryland. We could probably either ship it to California or drive it to California and sell it, and I think make money.
But you know what the good news is? In California, I mean, at $6.53 a gallon for premium, and to take that vehicle and put it on the
Space is on the money here, man.
And to put it on a freeway there, which is like, well, you're thinking, it's $6.53 just to park it.
That Space says,
moving on the
I know you don't want a Stellantis product, but Pacifica Hybrid will get the $7,500 EV tax credit. Okay. And we'll get 7.5% off MSRP is what Space is seeing in the market right now. Come on, let's pull the trigger. And then let's drive to LA. Weather's nice. You just said it. And let's take it to auction and let's sell it.
Could we go to, I'm more familiar with the San Diego area.
Come on, that's a good idea.
I haven't been to La Jolla in a long time. Plus, we have a cousin out there we could visit, Tyler.
And we've got here 100% Zach. You'll be able to do the same in 30 days or less in Maryland as well. Yeah. And Stellantis, Chrysler Capital, you can sell the lease unrestricted.
Wow.
Chrysler's one of the few, Chrysler Capital, one of the few captive lenders and leasors lessors, excuse me, that's not limiting you to go back to the dealer or something like that.
Okay. Well, then I guess we should go do it. Who do I know in the Chrysler business?
I don't know. We're going to have to figure something out.
Yeah.
Now, we've got another story that I think is worth bringing up here. And I
Yes.
actually think it's going to be today's first, if you want to toss the headphones on.
I have trouble with these.
I enjoy watching it every time. That was, folks, that's going to get a. All right, ready?
Really? You gotta be kidding me.
Okay.
Yes.
So we talked last week on the
Yes.
YAA channel and here on the Ray and Zach channel, and it's been the news story everywhere. Ford Model E, what we're perceiving to be the push towards selling directly to consumer, even though Jim Farley has said we're relying heavily on our dealer partners. I can see right through that personally. Here's what we've got going on.
Thank God you can.
I don't think you have to be that smart to see right through it. Here's what we've got going on.
Yeah.
Different state legislations protect the existing franchise dealer relationship.
Yes.
And in some states, we're weakening those legislations with carve-out laws. And in other
Yes.
states, we're hardening them. West Virginia car dealers negotiating changes to state franchise law. The West Virginia Automobile Dealers Association, also known as WVDA,
There you have it.
wants some rules governing over-the-air updates. We talked about that a little
Yes.
while back. Dealers
Yes,
are
but they
concerned.
did change. They did change. Bless their hearts. They did change the language so that it would not be illegal to do an over-the-air update from the manufacturer directly to the vehicle.
Let's hit on this next piece as well.
Yeah.
Dealers are concerned automakers may accept orders for new vehicles directly. So there's been West Virginia's House of Delegates last week unanimously passed the bipartisan bill known as HB 4560, which is spearheaded by the local dealers
Go
association.
figure.
The dealer association and automakers represented by the Alliance for Automotive Innovation are still negotiating the bill's language, which is likely to change as it advances in the legislature. An earlier version of the bill would have banned automakers from performing some over-the-air updates and potentially block them from bypassing their dealers. And like you said, that piece of it has changed. A second provision would require automakers to provide dealers with a written disclosure that can be given to potential vehicle buyers or lessors, outlining which accessories or functions of the vehicle may be upgraded or maintained by the automaker through over-the-air updates or other remote means, and any costs to the consumer. Now, let's see here.
Yeah, they decided that it wouldn't be fair to inconvenience the customer to make them take it to the dealership for an over-the-air update.
And then we've got here in West Virginia, vehicle reservations by automakers remain a source of tension and concern for the state's dealers association.
Of course.
Quote, "We do not like the reservation system. We think that that's the camel's nose under the tent."
It's not a phrase I've ever heard.
I've
before.
never heard that.
Okay, but
1 second. Wait,
Yeah.
is that actually a saying? A small, seemingly innocuous act or decision that will lead to a much larger, more serious, and less desirable consequences. Yeah, of course, 100%.
yeah.
I mean, you're right. I think we have some major issues with that. We are okay if a consumer wants to reserve a car. We don't find it too burdensome to have to make that reservation with the local dealer. So this is what you've got now. Over there
Yeah.
updates, we had really some interesting proposed legislation, got a little bit of pushback. Now West Virginia is trying to ban the actual sale of vehicles directly to consumer, harden the reality that you can't do that.
And they don't want the manufacturer to determine through their reservation system as to which dealer is going to get the car.
Yep.
Now I know the way Ford does it is as the consumer, you get to request which dealership, if and when your car ever gets built,
Yep.
which dealership it gets delivered to so you can go pick it up. I don't know. Sometimes I think we look at some of these things and we make them way more complicated than they really are. If for instance, the manufacturers in West Virginia, well, the manufacturers aren't really interested in selling directly. And if you're looking at even a Ford ICE vehicle, they're not.
Yep.
Okay. And even on the electric vehicle at this point, they're not. Ford is willing to take the reservation and allow you to decide what dealer you want it delivered to. And I think that's going to be the case just about anywhere. If you go to the manufacturer's site and place a reservation.
Yeah.
And it's a reservation. It's not a guarantee.
Now let's just say this is the first example we've seen of really digging heels in, and it will be interesting because it is going to go up. It's at present it goes directly up against Tesla's model.
Yes.
It will eventually go up against, I think, the Ford Model E model, for lack of a better term. So it is interesting to see the state of West Virginia dig in. All right, let's go back to the chat here, Dad. We've got a few questions going on. Akhtar says, "Can I use 87 gas in my Lexus?" And the chat,
You can if you don't want it to run well. Yeah.
and it says it's recommended to use premium. Can you speak to that for just a second? I know
Well,
you're not a mechanic, but
I am not a mechanic, and I did not stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I will tell you that every vehicle today has anti-knock sensors built into their engines. So there's software that can make adjustments if the octane level is not up to what the manufacturer recommends. So if they recommend 91 or 93 octane and you use regular at 87 octane, yes, you can do that. The engine won't run as efficiently as it was designed to.
kudos to Kyle in the chat. Yep.
Because the knock sensors will adjust the performance of the engine, so the gas mileage won't be as good. The engine could develop some issues later on from not using the proper octane gasoline. But you can, but you're going to suffer if you do.
Yep. All right. Now I just got to come back to this.
Okay.
We need to buy a hybrid Pacifica.
Yeah.
I think let's go do it this week.
You don't care how you fill out my week, do you?
Let's go buy a hybrid Pacifica
Yeah,
this week.
yeah.
Space will help us. Thank you, Space.
Yeah.
Then in April,
Yeah.
next month, once your lease is up, you know how you have that week? Let's drive to California and let's see if we can sell it and make money.
Sure, sounds like great fun. No, that's exactly what I was planning on doing. I didn't want to get back to my condo at the shore and check on my kitchen remodel. Why would I want to do that?
Hold it till midsummer. Okay, I'll hold till midsummer. I can hold till midsummer too.
I'm not driving from the Jersey Shore to California in the middle of the summer.
I'll drive it myself. It's my car.
Wow. Wow, he got awfully ballsy there in a hurry, didn't he? That's my car.
Oh, Neil reminding us you got to check the availability on joinyaa.com first. Yeah, we absolutely will. If we do buy a car, obviously we'll document the whole thing.
I could see a whole videography here, a video series.
We've got Roger saying
this is something that you might find on Netflix
potentially.
Yeah,
Gas Buddy is crashing. It's interesting. I guess a lot of people are using Gas Buddy trying to find the cheapest gas in their area.
Yeah,
it's fascinating to think like that app will probably be extinct 50 years from now because people will be driving.
Yeah, because they'll be looking for electric buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey neighbor, can I plug in at your place instead? All right, Pops, let's call it a show for here today. Again, the big news stories are gas prices going up, potentially EV tax credits based on what Joe Manchin said, which I thought was very interesting. You've got the Ford Model E push as well. Definitely watch that video back on the YAA channel if you haven't already. And then you obviously have what's going on in Ukraine and the challenge that's now posing on automakers to be able to actually produce vehicles. Our expectation, in summary here, hybrid vehicles are going to be a hot commodity.
Hot.
Gas guzzlers, prices will probably stay high, but they're going to come down.
Cold commodity.
Yeah. That's the MO. That's the take.
Yeah. So if you're going to want to get a good deal on something, you're probably going to be able to get a good deal on that gas guzzler that gets you 15 miles to the gallon. Good luck with that.
All right, Pops, let's call it a show. Thanks for your time as always. Actually, wait, before we go.
Okay.
Sorry, I feel like this is only appropriate.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, vehicle search, Pacific hybrid. I don't want to do 500 miles. Let's do 25 miles. What's our zip code here?
The hell do I know? I just live here.
I think it's like 20814.
I don't get mail here.
And let's do a new one.
Yeah, let's do new.
Damn, these things are expensive.
Yeah.
All right, but there's a few. Wait, let me sort it by days on market really quick.
Yeah.
Days on market oldest. All right. Where is that? Fairfax? I don't want to buy a car in Virginia. Their dock fees are high.
Yeah.
Alexandria, Rockville. Here we go. This is probably at Dark Cars. There it is.
Yeah. We will Rockville.
I don't know,
Rockville.
man. I don't know. We might have to pick up one of these.
Okay.
What's
well,
space say? 6 available units, 9
the
days.
supply. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
After
Mario, I'll
today's
message
show,
you.
it'll be down to a 1-day supply because everybody's going to be out trying to buy a hybrid now.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll keep you
We'll
posted.
see you all tomorrow at noon with news that you can use from YAA, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
That's the same advice my dad gives me at the blackjack table, Igor. It never
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
Never works.
Yeah. Pull the trigger, buddy.
See you guys.